UK Prime Minister David Cameron has been accused of favouring the rich and forgetting about the poor. The wealthy backgrounds of more and more British MPs is also being blamed for their detachment from ordinary voters and their problems. Laura Smith reports on the trend turning British politics into an elite club with an exclusive membership.
Prime Minister David Cameron, Eton and Oxford. Chancellor George Osborne, exclusive London schools, then Oxford. Deputy Prime Minister Nick Clegg, Westminster School and Cambridge. None of these men come from ordinary backgrounds.
There's a lot of people that have been political advisors of one kind or another, and that's growing as each parliament goes by, and you've got a lot more lawyers. We've got the biggest snob of all time now in Cameron running the roost. The snobs are there to be seen on the Tory benches in particular. I call it Millionaires' Row.
Dennis Skinner's an MP who would once have been seen as pure traditional British Labour Party stock. The son of a miner and an ex-miner himself, he came up through the ranks, became a trade union leader, a councillor and then a Labour Party MP in 1970. It's a route into politics that's become almost obsolete, replaced by a career path through top universities into special advisor posts and from there into ministerial jobs. That's how Ed Miliband, the leader of the party in which the core support base was once the working classes, got his job.
You had the Labour Party quite detached at times from ordinary working class voters, and the impact of both political parties being slightly out of touch with ordinary working class voters is that a lot of working class people have decided not even to vote in elections.
It's easy to see why. 60% of today's cabinet went to fee-paying schools, compared with just 7% of the total population. 30 years ago, 40% of Labour MPs came from manual or clerical jobs, compared with just 9% today. There's been a real reduction in the number of MPs who have first-hand experience of the trials and tribulations of working-class families.
The legitimacy of Parliament depends on it being representative and acting on the concerns of most in society. So the worry is the less that people feel they're being represented, the more they'll be turned off from traditional politics and the more disaffected they'll feel from politicians. That could mean greater numbers turning to disruptive ways of making their voices heard through demonstrations and even violence.
Under the current government, the UK has seen a surge in strikes and protests, some ending in serious trouble on the streets after demonstrations by people who don't feel their representatives are representing them.
These people haven't got a clue what it's like to be an ordinary person. These are millionaires, multi-millionaires, looking after the interests of millionaires and multi-millionaires. These people know nothing about what it's like to be an ordinary person in this country. They sicken me.
They don't speak for us, not at all. I don't think they represent people. You just need to look at the Conservative cabinet. It's full of people that went to very privileged and wealthy backgrounds, and I don't see how they could possibly represent working people in this country.
We're all in this together is the rallying cry of the current government in these times of financial austerity. Coming from a leadership of the privileged and independently wealthy, it rings especially hollow for many. As the belt tightens, so too rises the anger and alienation of those who feel they've no voice in the corridors of power. Laura Smith, RT, London.